All right, good evening, guys.
This is my intro. Hey guys, welcome back to Both Sides of the Ball. I'm your co-host DeVore, and we got a Putz next to me.
I'm Joe, and I'm sorry, everyone. I was going to intro, and I was going to segue to this young man right here. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, DeVore.
Thank you very much. So we're just going to get into it. Yes, I'm working on my birthday. It's because I love this pod. I love you guys. I love interacting with you guys. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Sorry for the lack of episodes. It's just because this laptop here, it's not doing me any justice.
He's getting a MacBook, thank God.
Yes, most likely. So, I mean, let's get right into the topics, I guess. Let's not waste any more time. We got NBA free agency. Kind of review all the teams here, so.
Busy NBA free agency, to say the least. What was it, from June 30th or June 29th at that point to about July 3rd, we had an ungodly amount of trades. And not trades, but more likely transactions.
Kawhi Leonard, just keep in mind, while we're recording this episode, still hasn't said where he's going. We differ on opinions.
We do. I think the Clippers are out.
Yes.
I think the Clippers are out. I'm not completely 100% sure on it, but I think they are out. I think it's down to Toronto and the Lakers. I'm pulling for the Lakers.
I'm going for Toronto. Get a whole country behind yourself. Why not? You know? That's just his motto.
Interesting fact. Did you know, I don't know if you listened to it earlier, he can make $11 million more per year by not playing in Toronto?
I don't think he cares.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, it's.
Whatever. Wherever he does go, he's going to be a top 5 MVP potential player, potentially get another championship on his belt. So let's. Why don't we talk about some of the other teams that we got there?
Yeah. So let's get right into it. So I didn't really touch on the Atlanta Hawks just because they drafted really well. So I didn't really think that they would do any transactions, and what they did was, if not anything, mediocre. They picked up. The Grizzlies trade Chandler Parsons to the Hawks, but I didn't think that was really relevant. Chandler Parsons hasn't been relevant since about 2010.
You want an interesting fact?
Huh.
There was a point in high school where I was trying to tell my barber how I wanted my haircut. So I told him, just give me a Chandler Parsons. And lo and behold, that's kind of what it's not exact because it was more the faux hawk back then.
Yep.
That's not relevant. Let's, moving on. We got the Boston Celtics. This one's super relevant. We got Kemba Walker agrees to a 4-year max deal with the Celtics. And Cantor says that he's going to work a deal out with them. I think he already signed with them. So
I can't believe that the Portland would just give up on him after making him try to decide for 6 minutes. They said, you have 6 minutes to decide whether or not you want to be on the Portland Trailblazers. And it's like, wow, you're putting a stipulation on a guy who's a great offensive rebounder, for one, and two, he's a good playmaker.
I stand at the fridge for longer than 6 minutes before deciding what I want for breakfast.
Yeah, he wanted to call his family back home and get some consultation.
Of course.
And
that's, big mistake on Portland. I think that, we'll get to Portland later on. They got a winner at the center spot, but for the Celtics, looking forward, I think it's very interesting because Kemba Walker and Kyrie Irving, they essentially have the same stats here. I think it's like 7 assists, 24, 25 points. Am I somewhere in the ballpark?
Yeah, I can just summarize it. They both score over 20 points per game, and they both are getting about close to 6 assists per game. I'll just generalize that, so I'm putting it in the middle. But they're both great point guards, and I think I'll be very interested to see how it works out because Kyrie, he didn't specifically say it, but I think he wanted it to be his team, and he wanted everyone to kind of get out of the way, and I think that kind of maybe clashed at points in times during the playoffs, especially too when he was chucking up shots. At one point in time, when I saw one of those games, he was 7 of 21, 7 of 19. That's
against the Bucks and
horrible.
I've seen it. Let's not worry about him. Let's go on to somebody next that's going to be maybe an Eastern Conference contender here. Brooklyn Nets. They got 2 superstars. Are you kidding me?
Load it up.
I predicted this. I said that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they're going to join forces out here.
I'll give you credit. I did not see that coming. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre Jordan signed with the Nets. However, the stipulation is Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving took less than their max deals in order for DeAndre Jordan to sign with Brooklyn. I wonder how this relegates to the center position. I wonder if this pushes Jared Allen back to the bench and maybe DeAndre Jordan to the front of the line.
I would go Jared Allen's still going to be the future of that franchise. Play him at the starter role. Let DeAndre Jordan kind of lead the bench unit and get some of the scoring there.
How unfair is that to have DeAndre Jordan coming off the bench? It's so good.
Well, I mean, think about it. We've seen it time and time again on super teams. You know? Would I consider the Brooklyn Nets a super team? Not necessarily. I think what they have is a very great young core that they're going to work around with 2 superstars at the helm. I think maybe Kevin Durant steps into that leadership a little bit better than Kyrie Irving. Let Kyrie Irving, kind of take that back seat. But I think it's a great move. Honestly, I love watching him. I think Jarrett Allen's a phenomenal player. And a couple other young guys, Karis LeVert, great player.
Yep.
So
okay, we'll just move on to the next one. Charlotte Hornets. The only relevant move I think they kind of made was they snagged away Terry Rozier from the Boston Celtics. I thought that was a great pickup. I don't necessarily think he replaces all of Kemba Walker's scoring and statistics, but I think he makes up for a big chunk of it. And I think this is kind of almost a mini rebuild for that team.
It's really strange how those two just kind of swap places. Like you were saying, Terry Rozier, I think one of the interesting facts that I read up on him was he's never shot over 50% field goal percentage in a season. Mm-hmm. But the thing with that is he's young, he has a lot of upside to him. I think that, kind of going off of what you're saying, I really do think that they're in rebuild mode. They're going to have to figure it out, and potentially we could see Michael Jordan selling the team. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's a bold call. I can't see that one happen. It's a franchise that's worth a lot of money, but I mean, we'll see down the road.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
We got the Detroit Pistons here.
Yep. And so we just kind of skipped over the Chicago Bulls and Cleveland Cavaliers. I didn't really think there was too many prevalent moves. They made very small moves, but I did not think it was anything major that really is seismic shifting toward the team. So let's get to the Detroit Pistons. Markieff Morris, Marcus Morris's brother. Marcus Morris used to play there. Markieff Morris signed a deal with the Pistons. I think it strengthens their small forward spot. I think it's a good move. He can also back up Blake Griffin at the power forward, and then Derrick Rose, Mr. 50-point game himself. We just talked about last week.
Moment of the year. Yep.
Signs with the Pistons. I like it. I think it gives him another shot to prove how good he is. And now he'll be backing up Reggie Jackson, and I wonder how long Reggie Jackson's time is. If could be up, I could see him potentially being dealt at the trade deadline this upcoming year, and maybe letting Rose just take over.
I'm going to back up there. I'm not going to say that they're going to deal him out there, but I do think that Derrick Rose being the sixth man for that team, I definitely think that he's going to be sixth man of the year. No question about it.
Ooh,
yeah, okay. and that's with him missing 31 games this past season. He wasn't in the running necessarily this year against like Pascal Siakam and remind me, who else do we have in
Lou Williams?
Yeah, Lou Williams. Those type of guys.
Yep.
But I definitely do think that they definitely did improve with their front court there. Morris, great at the 3 spot. You have Blake Griffin at the 4, Andre Drummond, at the 5.
Yep.
So I think that's a great front court. You're going to probably get a lot of bruises when you play that team. So. Moving on, we got Indiana itself. They took away my guy.
They did.
Yeah,
I was a little shocked. That's a good move, though.
I mean, to be honest, I really didn't see it happening. I thought we were gonna get him back. I was so excited. He's a steal, and this honestly could be one of the best moves of free agency. I think it was something like a 4-year, $83 million, 85.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it was a steal. I think they overpaid for Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon is overpaid?
I think Brogdon was worth 50 to 60 at most. At most. I think 80 is a little
even
stretched.
With Darren Collison leaving and you need somebody at that position?
Yeah. I do
my gosh.
I do. I think about $60 million would have been where I would have capped it. But, I mean, also they got Jeremy Lamb. That's a great pickup.
That is.
He's gonna insert himself and start for Victor Oladipo when the season comes. I think they're going to slowly keep bringing Victor Oladipo along. I am very interested to see that, along with adding TJ McConnell as a backup.
That's really, he's a sleeper pick because playing in that Philadelphia system, I feel like he didn't get enough opportunity.
No.
But then you saw flashes of it where these guys were injured, and I think it was like Simmons was injured, and TJ McConnell comes in, gets the first triple-double of his career. Granted, it was kind of a weaker like 10, 11, and 10.
Something like that.
But I mean, I think it's a great pickup. He plays very smart. Indiana Pacers going into next season. Once Oladipo comes back from that injury, I think that's going to be phenomenal. So
I mean, they lost Bogdanovich, but we'll hit on that later. But I think they're still like a 5 or 6 seed in the East.
Do you think that they outperformed their 2013-14 record when they had Paul George?
Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe.
I'm going to go there slightly under.
I agree with that.
Slightly
It's going to be tough, though, because they had a really good team.
They did.
Okay, so we'll segue right to the Miami Heat. Miami was busy this offseason. They got Jimmy Buckets. And I'm not talking about Jimmy Fredette. I'm talking about Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and that's honestly crazy. It was a sign-in trade, I believe, but I honestly didn't expect that one. Didn't see it coming.
That was shocking.
I thought Jimmy Butler would maybe want to go to a team like New York, for instance, where he had more of the attention,
Brooklyn,
more of the glamour.
Yeah, maybe even the Clippers. I could have saw that. They were trying to get him to go there with either Kevin Durant or Kawhi.
Well, if you noticed during free agency, the whole period, he had been so quiet. I mean, he didn't really give off any impression as to where he was going to go.
Right.
So I think, granted, it's just kind of interesting. The other thing with that, I don't know if you had mentioned, the Trailblazers pick up Myers Leonard, guy that liked my tweet, right?
And his wife, right? They're going to start her.
I would hope. Mrs. L. Leonard on Instagram, please go follow her. Shout out to her. That's right. But yeah, I mean, they kind of did a trade there with the Blazers, and the Blazers, as we had mentioned, alluded to them before, they pick up Hassan Whiteside.
I'll be interested to see if his attitude changes, because he played, I wouldn't say he played horribly, but there was times in the games where in the fourth quarter, maybe 3 minutes left, they would take him out and then bring in Bam Adebayo just because they didn't want him to get fouled. They didn't want him to go to the free throw line and lose the game if the game was close. It could be a resurgence for his career. Well, I'll be interested to see, because he's going to start.
So how about this? Let's relate it back to the Miami Heat. Okay. With them not having Hassan Whiteside and his presence in the paint, what do you think that does to a player like Bam Adebayo? And do you see them bringing in Kelly Olynyk, or what goes down?
No, I think Kelly Olynyk will still come off the bench. I think Bam Adebayo is going to start.
Okay.
I think they're going to go. Well, I think they'll go Adebayo at the 5. I think they'd probably go. Oh, I don't have the lineup off the top of my head right now, but I think
Derrick Jones Jr. maybe at the 4.
That's really small.
He's a lot of upside, man. I mean,
I don't know. He's a lot of athleticism.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways,
well, hit with your Bucks. I highlighted every single Bucks move because I thought it was relevant to the team. So
it's
why
because
don't you take it over?
We're gonna be a championship team. Give it a year or two. I assure you guys of it. Okay. But we re-signed Middleton. We re-signed Brook Lopez.
Great moves.
We get his twin, Robin Lopez. I mean, can you imagine all the memes that are going to be coming out? I don't know how many minutes he's going to be playing, because Pau Gasol also plans to stay, and he might just be kind of like the locker room dad.
What if Robin Lopez is going to fight the Milwaukee Buck mascot?
Bango?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem.
Probably. George Hill returning to the Bucks as well, and that's basically after Brogdon ended up walking over to the Pacers.
I thought that was key. I thought that was very key.
It's a very great pickup.
You get your backup, and you get him on a cheaper deal, and Bledsoe gets kind of a relief.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the fact that, I mean, we didn't give up Brogdon for nothing. It was a sign and trade. We ended up getting picks from Indiana, if I remember correctly. So it's not the worst thing looking forward towards the future. But I do think that they're in that win now mentality. That's why you see a lot of older players like George Hill, Robin Lopez, Brook Lopez, and even a guy like Wesley Matthews coming over to the Bucks.
It's a veteran team that Giannis is surrounded by. Lots of great role players, lots of people who know their role, and that they will do what they need to do to help Giannis succeed and carry him over the hump. And honestly, with these moves, they pretty much retained everyone.
I don't know.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, I'm going to say this. I don't know that they're going to be the best record in the league.
No, but I think
I do see them having the potential to go to the finals.
Yes.
So that's assuming everyone's healthy as well.
I can see them going like 57-25 and getting to the finals.
Yeah.
I can see that being their record. Okay. Well, we'll just segue right next to the next team, the New York Knicks. They made a lot of what I would call B-, B+ moves.
I would honestly say it was like a D+.
Really?
I really thought so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of these guys, I would say, overpaid. They had the cap space to sign a max player. But then, you get a guy, I mean, granted, he had a very good season once Anthony Davis was gone. We're talking about Julius Randle, of course.
Yep.
3 years, $63 million. He was their largest contract, and honestly the longest tenure in terms of contract. Everyone else signed to a 2-year deal. They're looking, I think, ahead maybe towards next free agency, because we all know that they kind of missed out this season. So
I like it just for the fact that Julius Randle proved what he was worth, and I think that's going to be a very big, dangerous line. Be Kevin Knox, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. That's a big front court.
Yeah, that's fair. And Mitchell Robinson, he's honestly such a great player. Great steal, honestly. I mean, we were kind of watching it earlier on our TV here, but we were watching the New York Knicks and Pelicans matchup.
Yep.
Mitchell Robinson playing, RJ Barrett playing. They have a great young core. And honestly, what it becomes now is just build around RJ Barrett, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of envelop him with a lot of great players, let him develop so that maybe by that third or fourth year, he's ready to pursue a championship with a superstar alongside him.
Yep.
So.
And I think that who's going to help him too was also another move they made. They got Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
4 triple-doubles in the last 5 games that he played with the Pelicans. I mean, he's really good. And this is a part where the New York Knicks have struggled for the last so many years of Frank Ntilikina. I can't even say his name. I'll never be able to say it. Ntilikina. Frank.
Yeah.
Never really cared for him. I think his game was that great. And they get Elfrid Payton. They started out. They shipped Emmanuel Mudiay out. We'll hit on that in just as well. I'll just talk about it just for a second. They ship him out. Now they still have Alonzo Trier there. I like it. He's going to start, and I think they could make some noise. I think they'll win 20-plus games.
I think they'll still be like the third worst team in the league.
I think they will, but I think they'll shock some heads.
Maybe they get I'll put it this way. What if they get a surprising win, like maybe against the Spurs? I could see that happening just because the Spurs are a little bit older. The New York Knicks, they have fresh legs out there. They're all young.
What if they beat the Raptors? That'd be a fun one. That'd be a big topic. That's a huge one. I'm just saying. No, if Kawhi leaves,
$10, $10.
I'll go 10.
All right,
well, 10.
Yeah, we got video proof of that.
There's video proof. Me and him will pick the game this season, and we'll put it on that podcast.
Absolutely, yeah. Moving on, we got the Orlando Magic here signing Nikola Vucevic, agreeing to a max deal there. He initially was scouted to maybe go to the Celtics.
Yep.
Ends up just re-signing for a larger contract with the Magic, retaining there. And then they also re-signed Terrence Ross. Kind of explosive, great young guy. So
athletic guard / forward. I thought, it was kind of tricky to read his body language on this. But ultimately he re-signs, and I think, some teams miss out on him. He's a great player. And Vucevic, gosh, I feel bad because I wish he could just get on a championship caliber team or a playoff caliber team, but apparently he just wants the money. And
he was an all-star this last season, wasn't he?
He's been great every year.
Well,
People sleep
but
on him.
It was the first time he was an all-star this past year.
Which I'm shocked.
And that's exactly my point. I mean, people don't realize because the Orlando Magic, they're not nationally broadcast, for being the greatest team out there.
No.
But, I mean, that's the thing. This guy will shock you because he's consistent. He rebounds. He plays defense very well. He's so consistent.
And he can hit 3.
Yeah, and the fact that, Aaron Gordon's there. Granted, that's not the most help, but Aaron Gordon's good. You would think that the Orlando Magic should be improving. Seems like they've just kind of plateaued. They've been stagnant for the past little bit here. So
I feel like they'll continue to be stagnant until someone pulls their head out of their butt and wants to make a huge move there, maybe management-wise.
Get 2007 Dwight Howard to join the squad.
Yeah, Rashard Lewis, Mikal Petrus. We'll bring that whole squad back, baby.
Why not? Yeah. Philadelphia 76ers, this move probably shocked me the most.
Yeah, kind of out of left field. Did not see it coming. Al Horford left the Celtics and chose the 76ers for over $100 million. 3-4 year deal. That was huge because pairing him next to Joel Embiid.
I mean, that's exactly my point. I said, what?
Have fun. Really? Have fun, Eastern Conference.
Do you realize how tall their starting lineup is?
Extremely tall.
Ben Simmons, 6'10" at the point guard.
Josh Richardson, at least 6'7".
6'6", I think, 6'7".
Yep, long.
Tobias Harris, 6'9" at the 3.
Yep.
Al Horford, 6'10" at the 4.
Joel Embiid, 7 foot.
Ridiculous. I think what they're doing, honestly, we used to talk about these stretch teams where they play positionless basketball.
Yeah.
Right? And the Milwaukee Bucks, which is why I fell in love with them the past couple of years, Bill Simmons, one of the greatest guys to, for me to listen to as an analyst, he had kind of talked about that and talking about how that's going to become the future of basketball.
Yep.
Well, you see the 76ers doing that exact same method. They're trying to, establish the future right now. So I think it's crazy. I think it's great. That's going to be a fun lineup to watch. It's going to be one of those fun teams where you're just going to want to turn on, every other game and kind of follow them and see where their progression goes. So.
I think there'll be a lot of nationally televised games between them and whoever they play. That'll be a fun one. Them and the Bucks. Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Right. And that's what I was hoping for in the conference finals. But, I guess we'll kind of cap off with the Eastern Conference then. We got the Washington Wizards.
Yep, and I'll skip the Toronto Raptors just because of the fact they really didn't do anything in free agency. They won the NBA Finals, and Kawhi Leonard is their kind of future kind of hinges on what he's going to do. And I feel like to the 1A to that 1B would be Danny Green.
Danny Green's waiting out for him. They kind of asked him. They said, "Do you feel like you're missing out because Kawhi Leonard's taking so long to decide?" And he said, "Well, he's like, I'm hoping that I'm not missing out on opportunities here."
The interview that they did with him, they said, "Your thoughts on joining the Lakers? What would you think of that?" And he said, "It's mother effing 2 superstars on that team." I would not be shocked if Kawhi Leonard went there, Danny Green went there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. LeBron is the point. Danny Green is the shooting guard. Kyle Kuzma, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis. Get out of the way, Western Conference.
You're getting carried away.
I am. I can dream, though.
Yeah, you're a dreamer.
Okay, that's fine.
Absolutely. So the Washington Wizards, they keep big man Thomas Bryant.
I like it. Lakers gave up on him. Okay, great. I mean, he played a lot of good minutes down the stretch last season when Dwight Howard got hurt, and I think that was a really key piece for them. And I didn't know this either. They signed Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas just needs a chance, man. That's it.
Kuz.
This guy was in MVP contention when he was playing on the Celtics, putting up like 27 points a game,
Easily.
28 points a game. I think it's honestly a great move. Give the guy a chance. You aren't signing him to a max deal, obviously.
No.
But of course, I mean the thing with it though is he's worth a couple mil. You take that chance on him,
That's like
especially with
mil.
John Wall being injured, not going to be back for a while. I think it's not necessarily a bad move. Does he start?
No.
Probably not.
No, I think they have someone else on the wings to start there. But what was I going to say? Kyle Kuzma said he was hooping with him on Twitter, and he said, "Everyone, look out for Isaiah Thomas." He said, "You guys are going to be shocked." So
he's gonna dunk on big man Joel Embiid.
He does. Big Max for a week, baby.
No.
Big Max for a week.
That's NBA 2K talk.
Okay.
Anyways, we're gonna move on to the Western Conference here. We got the Dallas Mavericks first.
Dallas
Kind of one big move. I'll let you hit on it.
Yeah, so they re-signed Kristaps Porzingis. I didn't think this was too shocking, just for the fact that they traded him there, and I think he really wants to play with Luka Doncic, and I think those two are the future of the team. They made lots of other small moves to kind of retain key pieces there, get their bench built up a little bit, but ultimately they'll be a fun team to watch. Now, will I think they make the playoffs? Probably not. I think
I'm gonna go with 10 seed.
I was just about to say 9 or 10. Yeah, I could see them maybe getting close and eking in if they really pulled it together. But I'd say 9 or 10. But their future's bright.
I'd be very shocked if they made it. It would almost remind me of that Phoenix Suns team that made it that one year where Jeff Hornacek was coaching them. They had I think it was 46 wins.
I think they were 48-34, 47-35, something like that.
Something crazy. Yep. But anyways, the point with that, I'll kind of hit on it. I thought it was just, it made sense. Of course, you're not going to let Porzingis walk. Excuse me. I mean,
no.
you gave up so much just to get him, and he was a restricted free agent coming into free agency.
Yeah.
So I think getting him with the max deal there, you're getting a great player. He's 7'3". It'll be exciting to watch him. You got another 7'3" guy, Boban Marjanovic. I couldn't pass it up. I just had to mention it.
It's fine. I get it. No more Bobby and Toby though in Philly. So
I know. Heartbreak City, Philly. Right.
Yep. Okay, so we'll hit next with the Denver Nuggets. Their one key big move I thought was Jamal Murray agreeing to the max extension with the team. I wasn't too shocked. The way he's played last season and even the season before, he's a stud. He's a stud and he's on the way up. And I think keeping him, Jokic, I think they could keep Gary Harris, maybe not. And the rest of that team is very young. And they're going to make some noise in the Western Conference for the next few years.
But see, here's my question with this. Because it seems like left and right, we're just throwing max contracts out there. Do you think this guy would ever really be an all-star? I don't.
Yeah, I actually do.
I personally don't. I disagree
on that
with you
team, I think he is. On any other team, I don't think so. But like you said, max contract. Oprah, you get a contract. You get a max contract. You get a max contract.
Oh, my goodness. It'll be interesting to watch him. Denver Nuggets. I think Jokic came in, I want to say, 4th place for MVP.
Right? I like Jokic.
So he's a great player. Probably the best passing big man we've had since Arvydas Sabonis.
Ooh, shout out Demonis' dad.
Yes. So moving on, we got Golden State Warriors. Another shocking move. Probably didn't shock me as much as Al Horford move, but I mean, I don't know about you. Did it kind of shock you? We got D'Angelo Russell sign and trade.
That was a big shocker. I did not see that coming at all. I saw a little bit of Karl Anthony Towns said something about loading, and they were talking about D'Angelo Russell going there. There was rumors of him going to the Lakers, but ultimately he ends up with the Warriors, and that's great for them because Klay Thompson's going to be essentially out, if not all year. Pairing him in that backcourt with Steph, maybe putting Steph at the 2. Kevin Durant's gone, so you put Draymond at the 3, Draymond at the 3.
I would.
Yeah, and then he'd go at the 4. Maybe Alfonso McKinney.
Kevon
Looney, who they re-signed. Yep. And then I think at the 5, you start Willie Cauley-Stein, their newest signee.
Yeah, that's a great pickup, honestly.
Great pickup for him and for the team. He's a great athletic rebounder who can also his game is in 5 to 10 feet within the hoop. He's like a JaVale McGee / DeAndre Jordan type.
I can see that. Yeah.
But he's got a good game, and I think that was a good pickup.
He has good potential. He's very young still. You have to keep that in mind. So. Yep. I think with the Warriors team, maybe it is going to be a little bit of a rebuild year. They shouldn't expect championships.
I don't see them going past the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, but anyways, LA Clippers, the team that ended up shocking us, getting 2 wins against the Warriors.
Yeah.
They, just kind of one of the bigger moves there. Said that he felt like he had a brotherhood with a teammate like Lou Will. They re-signed Patrick Beverley.
Yep,
so.
I thought it was a great deal.
Simple move, yeah.
3 year, $40 million. I think he was worth every cent of it. He plays great. He's an all-around good player, and really sad the Lakers didn't get him. But our loss is the Clippers' gain, and good for them. We kind of skipped over the Houston Rockets. There hasn't been too much movement over there. They've had a couple of people re-sign, but I don't think it was anything noteworthy to take. So yeah,
Chris Paul and James Harden getting a fist fight. That never happened.
Over a sandwich, something like that.
Something, exactly. I'll let you hit on, I guess, your team, right? They're up next. So.
Yeah, so in relevancy to free agency, these moves aren't necessarily earth-shattering, but they're good enough for the Lakers to the point where LeBron needs shooters. And he signed Troy Daniels, and he's a shooter. He shot close to 40% from 3 with the Suns, and he played on the Rockets. And Jared Dudley also he re-signed. He signed with the Lakers, and
yeah, I mean it's a very interesting pickup. Your Lakers, I think, with the superstar talent of Anthony Davis there, I think they're going to definitely do well. But moving on, I guess we'll just kind of see if we could get through these a little bit faster. We got the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yep.
Right. So a couple of interesting moves. They got Chandler Parsons traded to the Hawks. They get veteran Andre Iguodala from the Warriors in that sign and trade deal, and then Valanciunas agrees to re-sign with them.
All key moves. Iguodala, I think he's going to be. They said they're going to buy him out or trade him. I hope they just buy him out. He's a good player. Getting rid of Parsons' contract off the Hawks. I think that is. I think that's really key, just because he's been dead money for years. And then Valanciunas being the stabilizing force there, I think he'll be a big presence on the team.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's going to be very fun watching him. We're going to skip over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nothing, crazy for them.
Yeah.
But then we do have the New Orleans Pelicans. This is a great move. They reportedly trade for Derek Favors.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to come off the bench or he's going to start, but either way, he's in great shape to get some more minutes and potentially have a really enforcing role on the team. And then they picked up J.J. Redick.
That's crazy.
They were saying J.J. Redick, they used some analogy for him, but basically he's playing for a lot of the top teams, and he's basically almost like a hired gun, and he's a great shooter, and oh my gosh,
he's that guy that you forget about until he hits 3 straight 3-pointers on you, and then you're like, oh, okay, he's in the rotation. We gotta worry about this guy. He's honestly like a smaller Kyle Korver.
I'd rather have him than Kyle Korver.
I think so too. He put up 9 3-point attempts per game this past season with the 76ers. So
yeah,
that's great. We got the Oklahoma. No, actually, we're gonna skip over Oklahoma because
nothing really there. Phoenix Suns, they got Ricky Rubio to sign with them. I said in one of the other episodes, or I think I said on the podcast or Twitter or something like that Rubio was going to join the Pacers, but I think it was kind of a mistweet. Maybe someone mistweeted it, and I just retweeted it by accident. But I think it's a great pickup for them. He's going to start, and I think he's going to be a huge influence for Devin Booker. It's going to take Devin Booker off the ball, and they're going to push the pace. It's one of the fastest paced teams in the league. So that move, and then they added your boy. We just talked about him, Kyle Korver, Mr. Shooter.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Korver, he's a great pickup for any team, honestly. I would have enjoyed having him on the Bucks. the same that I would have, Ray Allen out of retirement. The only difference is Kyle Korver is going to still be that consistent shot. Occasionally, sometimes here and there, when you would watch, kind of the full game, you would see him maybe miss a shot really terribly. But then a lot of times you watch the highlights and you think that this guy's, one of the best shooters in the NBA. So, it's really a hit or miss. I think it's honestly a great sign for them. So, we're just going to have to see how it works out for them.
Yep, they are expected though to buy him out or waive him, just because I think they're going to do their due diligence and let him try and sign with a contender playoff team. Lakers are looking at him, Brooklyn Nets, and I think one or two other teams. So whoever picks him up, their services, he's a great shooter. So moving on next to the Portland Trailblazers, they made a lot of noise. We just talked about it earlier. They got Whiteside via the Jimmy Butler trade.
Correct.
Damian Lillard agreed to a supermax deal. This wasn't shocking to me.
Not
He's
shocked,
a stud.
I mean, think about it this way. Anytime that you have you're matching up against the Portland Trailblazers, you're pretty much game planning to see how you could take out Damian Lillard out of the game.
Or CJ McCollum, yeah.
And, well, usually I'm going to say it's Lillard. The games where CJ McCollum steps up and has 40 points, that's typically when Lillard has to take a back seat.
Yeah.
So, Rodney Hood also re-signs with the Blazers. I think, kind of one of those lower moves, but, definitely a good pickup. So.
I thought it was key, though, because he played a great series. What was against the Denver Nuggets? Mm-hmm. He was very key in that series, and that's why they won, I believe, just because they needed a third piece to come off and score, because the Nuggets had Murray and Jokic, and they were getting consistent play from a lot of other players, and then for the Blazers, it was just Cantor here and there, and then Lillard, and then McCollum was kind of chipping in, but they were like, okay, we need a little more help. This is going back and forth. It's a battle, and Hood stepped
back
up.
and forth affair. That's right. Yeah. So we got two teams left here before we wrap up this episode. We're gonna go with the San Antonio Spurs. They ended up having two notable moves. Rudy Gay plans to re-sign with them, and they added forward DeMar Carroll. What do you think?
I thought it was a good move. I think DeMar Carroll is going to get a chance. It's a veteran team. He's a veteran player. I think he'll get minutes. I think they're going to make the playoffs for a 23rd year in a row.
It's 23rd year in a row. That's crazy. That's older than I am, right? I just turned 21 today, but
it's death taxes on the Spurs making the playoffs for 23 years in a row.
Greg Popovich will probably retire if they don't make the playoffs.
Oh, really?
I can see him doing that. When he feels like, hey, it's my time to go, he might even just pick up and leave mid-season.
It's like Tim Duncan. You're not going to know.
Yep.
We did him in the Kings. Sacramento Kings. You skipped over him.
Oh, geez, my fault.
Yeah.
So why don't we go back? Sorry about that.
Yeah. So they re-signed Harrison Barnes. I was a little shocked. Wasn't too shocked, but
huge contract.
Overpaying for a guy who's a B+ player, I think, in my opinion. He's good, but it is what it is. And they added Dwayne Dedmon. I think that's good depth for the center spot since they lost Cauley Stein. I think he'll slot in right behind Marvin Bagley. It is what it is. And then I like them. They picked up Trevor Ariza.
Trevor Ariza, you could have seen him going to a lot of teams like the Lakers, potentially going back to the Rockets.
Yeah.
I think going to the Sacramento Kings, that's just maybe him saying, hey, I want to have some fun with the rest of my career, maybe get some more points up, some more shots, show the younger guys how to do it. So not necessarily, one of those all-star caliber players, but I think that, he is a good player.
Yeah.
So fits in on a lot of teams. Sacramento could be another fun team to watch. So
could be. I think the expectations are high in Sacramento. I think it'll be another De'Aaron Fox show. And I'm excited to see the growth of Bogdan Bogdanovic.
I'm gonna say that this. I'm gonna go with.
Oh, are you calling it playoffs?
They're gonna be in a tiebreaker for 8th and 9th.
Ooh, with who?
Who's at the bottom? Is your Clippers?
I can see a Dallas Sacramento.
I'm gonna go with Clippers.
Clippers fall off that much.
Yeah. The Clippers were the 8th seed.
That's true, they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the tie with the Clippers there. And it's gonna come down to record. But I don't know, anything else to add before we move on to our next team?
No, I like it. Okay. We'll finish it up with the NBA free agency with the Utah Jazz. They added probably one of the biggest shooters that kind of flew under the radar. Bojan Bogdanovic. That was a great pickup for them. He's another wing to add to help Joe Ingles out, stretches the floor, and I'd be very interested to see how he fits in with Mike Conley and all that. That's a sneaky good pickup for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. Another one, they signed big man Ed Davis, and then Jeff Green also headed to Utah. Seems like they added a lot of guys that, we don't necessarily consider like we're talking about all-star players, but they're making the right moves. And they're in the right direction to basically be in contention to go to the finals.
I think Ed Davis slots into the Derek Favors role, maybe coming off the bench more. I think they go maybe more small ball lineup. And then you get Jeff Green. He's a great role player, and he can put up 15, 20 points a game. People sleep on him, but he was one of those key cogs when the Oklahoma City Thunder were really good.
That's fair. It's another. I think he also played on the Wizards for a little bit. Played on the Celtics. It doesn't matter what team he goes to, you're going to have highlights from him. He's going to play phenomenal. So,
absolutely.
Anyways, guys, I think that's going to cap it off for the free agency part of this episode. We're going to hopefully finish up tomorrow. I don't know.
We'll finish up tomorrow. We'll come back with United States men's national team soccer, women's national team soccer. I'm going to cover those, and then we're going to hit on the home run derby, the All-Star game, and a little bit of Fast Five, and then we're going to talk about the hot dog eating competition, baby.
You won't catch us eating hot dogs, that's for sure. But stay tuned because you might catch me with the hangovers. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, guys. Sounds good. Talk to you later.